can use to gain the confidence in the person that you're visiting to get their listing. You're going on a listing appointment. It's very competitive right now, and you want to make sure you walk away with a listing, right? They will most likely interview more than one agent unless you went out and you were related and already passed on something like that. So how are you going to connect with them? How are you going to gain their trust and confidence in you to get the job done? It's by learning how to ask the right questions. And you may not just want to wait until the day of the appointment. I use 20 questions that I get on the phone with the person before the listing appointment, and I ask them those questions. First of all, I'm more prepared when I show up. We already built a report. I know more about them. I know why they're selling, where they're going, what's important to them. So you really want to dig deep in what is important to them about selling their home. What's their hot button? What's the reason? So like this, in a tough time during the escrow, or maybe you're not getting the showing you wanted, or tough negotiation, you can always go back to this and remind them, this is why you're doing this. This is why they're doing this. Okay, we have another great question here. How to simplify the finance, the value of their home, your CMA when presenting. Because you may show up with either your iPad and have thousands of listings that you want to show them, or maybe you print out an entire book with all the photos and all the stuff, and hopefully you took the time to highlight and circle and make notes of what stands out and what compares to their home. But how can you make it more simplified where they understand it? If it's overwhelming for you, imagine for them. So here's the trick. Pick 9 properties. 9. Why I'm saying 9? Okay, 3 that are the active listings that are the mostly going to compete with them. It does not have to be the one right next door to them. Those are not always the most competitive listing. Those that if you're looking at a 1-story with a pool, 3-bedroom, remodeled, in a cul-de-sac, you may want to pull listings like this. Try to find 3 listings actively on the market for sale right now that if there's a buyer out there, they will be going and look at these homes also. And what would make them decide to buy yours instead of the other one that are competing with you? So those are the first 3. The other 3 are your pending sale. Those are the homes that already been under contract. There's already a buyer on it. They are in escrow. Call it pending, call it contingent backup, in escrow, whatever, it all means the same. There's a buyer that signed a contract with the sellers. They have agreed on a price, and they are now under contract going through the process to get to the ownership, okay? So those 3 are also the most comparable. Be smart about these 3. The listing price you're going to see on the market, on the MLS when you pull the MLS, all right? So that's the price that it is listed. It does not mean this is the price that the contract is signed under. Another price may have been agreed, either higher, lower, or at price. So try to contact the listing agent. Most listing agents are really cool. Most real estate agents, we all very nice, right? We want to help each other. They're probably going to give you an idea, if not the exact number, how much they are in escrow at. Because that's so valuable when you sit down in front of your client and say, this is a 3 pending sale. These 3 pending sale means they're under contract already with the buyer, but they could come back on the market. They have to be aware these homes could come back on the market and come back as a competitive listing again. But also, if you have taken a minute to contact those agents, and lucky you were able to get some kind of value of how much they are in escrow at, it's so valuable for the sellers to have that information. And for you, now you know how much this listing is going to be closing at. If you can get also a date, when are you expected to close escrow, Mr., Mrs. listing agent? And if they can give you that data, gosh, you have gone way above and beyond most agents. Okay, so this, and the last 3, of course, is the 3 sold. These are very important because it doesn't matter what it was listed, it's what it closed at. And these are, if you were going to sell the house today and it's a cash offer, these are your comparable sale right now. Or you have a quick transaction, 12 days escrow, and has an appraisal scheduled for it. The appraiser will use those 3 comps, most likely. Remember, your closed escrows are what you're going to bring to the table when you meet an appraiser. So those are very important. And so remember, 9 listings should be enough, 3 of each, the most comparable, get as close as possible. Okay, don't go and get something that is twice the size or have 2 acres and you're selling a 7,000 square foot lot. Try to narrow it down. It will make the seller's life so much easier to understand the value of their home. And ask them, out of these homes, which one do you think your house compete the most with? Why do you think your house should be priced at, looking at those 3 listings competing with you, or those 3 listings that have just sold? Another great question. Thanks so much for all the question, guys. I really appreciate it. So how to answer concerns that the seller may have. First of all, discover what are the concerns, right? So ask them those questions that I mentioned earlier to find out what is it that they're maybe concerned. Is it the price, how long it's going to take to sell the house, or maybe something just about their home? That's the moment where they're going to start telling you, you know what, we're a little bit concerned. We had a roof that leaked last few months when it was heavy rain. We did fix it. They're very concerned about how this is going to happen, how this is going to be disclosed to the buyer and things like that. They also have concern about how their homes are showing. Oftentimes they're going to ask, what should I do to make my house look outstanding in this crowd? Should I remove my family photos? Should I paint this bedroom that's purple? Should I make it neutral? Should I stage it? And so see where their concerns are at. And of course, those are also advice you're going to be giving to them, what to do to get their home ready. Should you stage it? Our company stage most of all our listings. So that makes it really easy for a seller. They don't have to be worried about that. But just always remember, they may have not bought or sold a house in many years. They may have never sold a house. Maybe those are their people, this is their first home that they bought 20, 30 years ago, 5 years ago, and they never sold yet. And there's just so many videos you can watch online to learn how to sell your home, right? So be of service, be a trusted advisor by asking the right question, find out their concerns and answer to them one by one. And if you don't know some answers, do yourself a favor, don't make it up. Take the time to research, ask questions about maybe how they're holding their property. Is in a trust? Maybe it's a spouse passed away, what to do, So there's many things like this that's going to come up during the listing appointment. Take good notes when they talk, right? You don't go to a doctor appointment. You always see them with a pen and paper, right? Write down notes and address all those concerns. So important. The more you address their concerns, the more likely they're going to trust you, like you, and they're going to want to do business with you. They're going to be confident to give you the key of their home to get it sold. How to grab the attention to the person sitting across the table from you during the listing appointment with your listing presentation. First, I would say this all starts right when you walk in. Walk in with confidence, powerful, and determined to go in there to help them sell their home at top dollars. For that, you will probably gonna have to go through some very thought-provocative questions and get them to think and discuss with you the importance of selling and everything, right? You really want to set that stage. Again, the statistic, bring them strong statistic, not just comparable sale, but talk to them about the market. What's going on in the market right now? Is it a market is going towards selling market, seller's market again, or are we still in the buyer's market? How many homes are listed in their neighborhood, in their city? How many houses have gone in escrow last week? So bring strong statistic that they see that you're confident, you know what you're doing, you've done your research, you understand the competition, so that they can feel confident when you take their listing, you're going to be able to get them a buyer. And also some powerful statement. It's so important that you state things clearly and powerfully. So make sure you are prepared. We have some videos that help you create those statements. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and watch those videos, or always follow us on the Friday afternoon Q&A at 3 p.m. every week. So I really appreciate the question today. It was so great. I hope you all got some ideas. And again, subscribe to our channel to learn more. And pleasure to see you.